Have you yet experienced awe in this new year? Have you yet experienced the incredible gift of being part of the Jewish community, particularly in this new year? I ask you these questions because I'm thinking about some of the words that I shared, ideas I shared with you in sermons on Rosh Hashanah. But in addition, I want us to gear ourselves toward what's coming next, of course, which is Yom Kippur. And Yom Kippur begins in an evening with Kol Nidre, and Kol Nidre is a beautiful, powerful, enigmatic prayer in Aramaic with a gorgeous melody. And then we go into the evening service. That's at 7:30, and that reminds me, by the way, that Erev Yom Kippur, the service begins precisely at 7:30, so that we're not there too late, and so that we can be respectful of everybody else's time and experience. Remember, people are fasting as well. I want to ask you to be at services in the evening, in the morning, in the afternoon, 15 minutes before they start. That'll allow you to be without stress walking through the door and in your seat in time to start. It'll also enable you to be present for some very, very important elements, things that are happening at the beginnings of these services this year. I hope you'll be there. Well, people ask me a couple things. One is, what time will services end at Shepherd? I suspect that on Yom Kippur Day we'll leave Shepherd at about 1:15. I know that we're coming back to VOS, Valley Outreach Synagogue in Calabasas, and in the afternoon, in the break between services, we have a 12-step gratitude meeting in our annex, led by Bob and Annie Charles this year. We also have a grief support discussion group led by our rabbinic intern, Rabbi Chaplain Julie Rosenson. So I hope that you gain value from those two experiences, and that at 4 o'clock we're all in the sanctuary to begin our service. When will Yizkor start, people ask. I'm going to guess, I'm never wearing a watch, but I'm going to guess from what I've been told, around 5:15, 5:30. Yizkor lasts half an hour or so, maybe a little more. I urge you to stay with us for the rest of the service, not to leave. If you've left in the past, you're missing something. I really hope that you'll be there for the end of the holiday, which is like nothing else I've ever experienced. It says on your ticket that we'll get out of here at 7. I don't believe so. I think we'll be out of here long before 7 o'clock. You'll be happy to hear. One thing I want to say is on Yom Kippur morning, I will make an appeal speech. Well, you're expecting that. And what is an appeal? I'm appealing to your generosity. But I'm not just appealing to that action, you to be generous. I'm appealing to the motivation for it, to realize what it is to support Judaism in this year of Jewish life and Jewish history. I don't think I need to explain why it matters so much right now. I can personalize that. I can tell you why it matters to me, and we can have that conversation anytime you'd like personally. I have conversations in my office all the time, and anybody wants that one-on-one is welcome to it. That's what I'm here for, in service to you. But I will say that synagogues are the constant in Jewish life. Valley Outreach Synagogue has been doing this for 38 years. And I'll say, without trying to dramatize the situation, just to elucidate it, be clear about it, we're in a critical 2-year period. My belief is between this year and next year, we'll know if we have a future or not. We're carrying a deficit from the time of COVID and since that is about $200,000, that for some organizations like ours might not be a lot, might be a drop in the bucket in relation to their budget, but their dues are much higher than ours. Remember that synagogues around us charge somewhere between $3,000, $3,500, and $8,500 a year. We're nothing like those prices. And that's wonderful because it's in the spirit of outreach, but it's also problematic because it leaves us with a deficit. One of the issues is that our costs are rising, and I'm talking about incremental costs like all of us are feeling, but we're feeling them as an organization. To give you one example that's clarifying, our energy costs in the building have gone from $500 to about $2,000 a month. That gives you just one indicator of how things have changed and how we're unable to ask for you in dues to compensate for that. Well, dues cover 30 to 40%. That's all of our budget. That means that 60 to 70% of our operating costs as an organization, everything that we're doing, everything that we're offering, has to be funded by your generous donations. And I ask you, my wife and I donate to the synagogue every month. We ask you to do the same, to support the Jewish cause, the Jewish people, outreach, the interfaith work the Valley Outreach Synagogue does. This kind of place is unique. I don't think there's anywhere like it on the planet, anybody doing exactly what we're doing. And I think our outreach matters. So in the Torah, it says that God asks us to support the synagogue structure, the tabernacle, the temple, with a specific amount, what we'll call dues. And then it also says, and God asks for each person according to their heart to give an additional donation. So that I leave to you, but I ask you to consider not only our present, but our future, our ability to have a future as Valley Outreach Synagogue in the decision that you make in response to my appeal this Yom Kippur. If you're not going to be there, please don't feel like you need to be in the synagogue for that. You can give it to me or to any of the ushers, your ticket with a tab marked off on the Erev of Yom Kippur, or send it in, or call us, or email us in advance, or hand it to us after the holiday as well. All I ask is please participate. 100% participation would be an extraordinary sign that this synagogue matters in this year of Jewish life. With that said, Gmar Chatima Tova. May you not only be written into the book of life for a new year, filled with blessings, and God willing, one of those blessings is greater peace in our world, but may you and your loved ones also be inscribed, firmly implanted in this year for blessings.